Recording in progress.
Well, all right. Welcome back to the Getting It Wrong podcast, where we embrace our mistakes because getting it wrong is the first step of getting it right. Mm-hmm. I am your co-host, Gabby.
And I am Morgan. And yeah,
we're going to jump right into the hot topics.
That's right. Awkward pause. Okay, yeah. Oh, wait, we have to start with our confession. Let's not forget. We'll get the hang of this intro. Mostly me.
We will.
I still have some getting the hang of it to go.
Yeah, we both do. We're going to push through.
Okay. Yes. So let's start with our confessions. Gabby, do you want to go first?
I do not want to go first, but okay. I will if you don't have one.
I have one.
Okay.
Okay. So this past weekend, I had like this allergic reaction and I could not figure out where it came from. I have two theories. Putting my phone on silent. I have two theories. It could have come from the fact that I wore some makeup and didn't wash it off before bed. A. And the confession part comes in, I might be allergic to your cat.
My cat?
Not your cat, but like cats. I was like, it could be that because like when we left, I kind of had like an itchy throat. And then was that the next day? That was the next day. Then my face started puffing up. So, yeah, I may have had an allergic reaction to your cat because I may have a cat allergy. Or it could be that I just should have washed my makeup off. That could be it, but I wear that makeup all the time. And I do that all the time. I'm starting to think I can blame your cat. And that is my confession.
I'm like, you were here like a week ago. Like, how does that?
No, because that's when it started. It like the day after is when my face like puffed up. I was like scratching, like on the drive home, actually. I was like scratching my face and I was like, what is going on? Okay. I was like, and then I went to bed and it was still there. I woke up the next morning, it was still there. The next day, it was still there. And now it's finally starting to go away. Like you can tell it was like red there, but it's not puffy and swollen anymore. But yeah, there's my confession.
Okay, I thought it happened just like a couple days ago. And I'm like, you cannot blame that on my cat because you were here like a week and a half ago. Okay.
I blame your cat. No. Okay. Maybe not. But yeah.
I have a confession. I'm feeling a little hesitant on sharing it because it's about Nia again. And I'm like, my confessions are always about my child. People are going to be like, what is she doing? She is a terrible mother. But hey, I'm going to embrace my mistakes, okay? Mm-hmm. So Nia got a 100% on her test yesterday.
Aww.
And I was like, I'm so proud of you because you've been putting in the work, you've been practicing, and it's showing you got 100%. And I told her I would have a surprise for her today, but I totally forgot.
Did she ask about it?
Oh, yeah, she did. So I kind of tried to finesse a little bit, but it wasn't good enough. I like made her some popcorn. I was like, for your reward, we can eat some popcorn and watch a Harry Potter movie. And she was like, I wanted some bubble gum. You did say that, but I forgot.
That is not gum. That is not gum. You did try it though. You did.
I thought it would work for a second because I'm just like Harry Potter popcorn.
Right. Sometimes it works. Sometimes they just like, They're like, this is not what I asked for. Plain and simple. You messed up, mommy. It's okay. We all make mistakes, but go get that gum.
Yeah, I was like, it's okay. I will have your real surprise tomorrow. So
okay. What is the obsession with gum though? Zara is the same way. In the checkout, it's like just there. And she's like, mommy, please.
No, it's like it's not good for your teeth. But it's a struggle because she wants it. I give it to her occasionally. But it's like the more you give it to them, the more they want it. So I'm trying to find that balance. So it's kind of like a treat, like only if you
Yeah,
only for something special.
that's fair. Special occasions. Zara
Well,
knows. Only ask Pop Pop. He always has some in his car.
who's Pop
So,
Pop? Your dad?
I'll be like, ask him for two so I can have one.
Smart. But I guess we can go into the hot topics now.
Oh, but wait, before we do,
Oh.
a word from our sponsors.
Pregnancy is one of the most vulnerable times in a woman's life. In a world full of uncertainty, Amazing Grace Ultrasound helps make things clear. Are you unsure if you're pregnant or not? Amazing Grace Ultrasound has pregnancy confirmation ultrasounds. Do you want to know the gender of your baby? You can get a gender blood test as early as 7 weeks. Are you curious about what your baby will look like? Amazing Grace Ultrasound uses state-of-the-art technology to offer 3D, 4D, and 5D ultrasounds to give you a sneak peek. At Amazing Grace Ultrasound, they don't just do ultrasounds, they create memories. Just look at the reviews, they speak for themselves. Go to www.amazinggraceultrasound.com to check out their packages and book your appointment today.
Okay, so now for our hot topics. Okay, so by the time we air this, it will be nice and fall-y. Well, it's already fall, like outside it's starting to get chilly, which I love. Like that is the best time of year when you can wear your sweatshirt and your jackets and you can have cute layers and but anyway, so I feel like Thanksgiving is coming up. Thanksgiving is upon us. One of my favorite things with my family is for Thanksgiving, for pretty much any holiday, we gather and we play games and we are very competitive. And one of the one of the games we started playing is Black Blasphemy. Have you heard of it?
I haven't.
Black Blasphemy. Oh, okay. So it is basically, in Black culture, we all have similar ideas and ideals, and there are some do's and don'ts when it comes to Black culture. And basically, with Black Blasphemy, you are supposed to say the the don't. That it's basically like an unpopular opinion for Black culture. So, for example, we all know pumpkin pie is a white people dish at Thanksgiving, right? So you're supposed to basically list off a few Black blasphemies. Well, this is how we play it, at least. I think it's a card game as well, but you're supposed to like list off your Black blasphemy. You can say, I know one of mine was, I didn't think the Martin show, it never just made me laugh. So, and I know that's like, people are like, what? Martin is so funny. I mean, yeah, like it's cool
funny
to watch, but I never just like, I just like
I feel the same way.
Yeah, so I'm like, never made me laugh for real. Actually, I'll list off some of the ones we had when we played this past weekend. So that was the first one. Martin show never made me laugh. Someone else said Black parents whoop their kids too much. Peach cobbler is trash. Kool-Aid is trash. I don't disagree with too many of these. Pound cake is overrated. Asian food is better than soul food. Now that's disrespectful. Okay. Now we know where you stand. The disrespect. I mean,
hey.
Yeah.
Chinese food is delish.
But better. Better.
I mean, I am vegetarian.
Fair enough.
Or no. What is no. I mean, I do love me some baked mac and cheese. So would one be like baked mac and cheese is nasty?
Yeah. We'll get to that. Okay, so I'll read off a few more. Kevin Hart is not funny. Pink hair lotion is garbage. Duh. Will Ferrell is funnier than Kevin Hart. Yams suck. Pancakes better than That's not a Black blasphemy. That's just like, I don't know. That one. How did that sneak in there? Pancakes, duh. They're way better. But I thought we should play a Thanksgiving version.
Okay. I love games.
Yay. So we're just gonna kind of list some off and then just start thinking of like two in your head, right? Okay. So and it has to be Thanksgiving food related. Okay.
Thanksgiving food is my least favorite holiday food. Just putting that out there.
So this will be easy for you. Okay.
Okay.
I'll throw one out there. I don't mind that much when they put breadcrumbs on the macaroni and cheese. Like, yes, we do like our standard macaroni and cheese, but when they put the breadcrumbs on, because you're like, okay, that's more of a white people garnish. We just like to keep our mac and cheese very simple. I don't mind it. I'm like, okay, it doesn't bother me.
It gives it like a crispy texture on top. Like,
yeah,
it's a nice texture contrast. I agree.
I'm not opposed to it, is what I'm saying.
I wouldn't make it like that, but
I wouldn't make it like that, but I'm not 100% opposed to it. And I definitely agree when it comes to keeping it simple for Thanksgiving. You don't play that for Thanksgiving. You don't ruin what is the there was a video where she was like, you had to go and cook the macaroni and cheese, and now you're gonna be cleaning up all by yourself because you had to do what you saw on the internet. Yes, Carol was not playing. So yeah, keep it simple for Thanksgiving, but occasionally if you add the breadcrumbs, I don't mind. Okay.
I feel that.
Okay. Do you have another one? Do you have one, or do you want me to go again?
I feel like if I say something, it would just sound totally ridiculous. But I feel like Thanksgiving needs a different meat because turkey is just not it.
It is not. Girl, we just talked about this. We were like, we need to. Were you there when we were talking about like just they could do like a Cornish hen? They could do like, okay, you weren't there. Okay, we just had that conversation over the same weekend when I was in St. Louis. So turkey, it might have to go. It is not where it's at. It's dry. It is not where it's at.
You know those posts that have like 4 things, like one's gotta go.
One's gotta go. It's the
Turkey's gotta go.
The turkey. I'm here for the sides, baby. The sides. Turkey gotta go. Okay, I'm with you on that one. Honestly, all Thanksgiving desserts, in my opinion, are quite trash. Sweet potato pie, that's mush. Pecan pie, never been a flavor of nuts, and the filling is literally just coagulated cornstarch. Ugh. I won't do this one. My dad's feelings are gonna be hurt.
He gonna be like, so you don't like my
No. If you have ever seen him around the holidays slaving in the kitchen, getting these. No, it really might cause strife in the family.
Okay, all right, we don't have to do it.
Why is it so serious? I love Black people, but it is serious. We're not gonna do pop like that. So I'll skip that one. But now he knows. Anyway,
right? It's like
now he knows. Okay, German chocolate cake. It can go. Honestly, I said it.
I like sweet potato pie, but all the other
peach cobbler. Hold on, peach cobbler. I could rock with that if they keep, but they don't do it enough. They do like this ambrosia salad. They do like this 7-layer cake type thing with coconuts and whipped cream. No, all holiday Thanksgiving type of desserts are trash, and I can go without. So that is my.
I feel you. I think I have one that's gonna Mess everybody up. Everyone's gonna be in my DMs like, Gabby, I'm taking your card right now. But sweet potato pie and pumpkin pie taste exactly the same. They do.
They're pretty close. Pretty close. Neither are great, honestly. The only reason I eat sweet potato pie is because after eating all of the Thanksgiving and getting filled up on all of the Thanksgiving food, you sit there, your stomach's full, and then you just want something sweet. And that's the only thing there because all of the rest of them are trash. That's when I go for the sweet potato pie. If they don't have peach cobbler, if they don't have like a store-bought apple pie is nasty. It's like sour.
Oh God.
Why did I bake some cookies? Shoot. Bake some brownies.
Right, something.
I just hate holiday dessert.
Pie in general. Yeah.
Holiday dessert is so nasty. Where are the brownies? Yes, okay. But I think that kind of wraps up that one. Okay. But I do have a second hot topic. So there was a British singer. Here, let me pull it up. Jessie Nelson? No, that's right. Jessie Nelson. How you like? Was it good? No.
Close.
No. Okay, so she is an English singer. She used to be a member of a British girl group called Little Mix in 2011 to 2020. Okay. No, she was on the X Factor. So everybody has been talking about this girl and her recent video with Nicki Minaj. I don't know if you've heard. Yeah, she's been accused of blackfishing, which is constantly an issue. She apparently in her music video, I wouldn't even say, no, she had like a curly afro and then she had another hairstyle with like braids and two ponytails and there was some like braids mixed in. But honestly, though, the hairstyles were less of an issue, even though the afro was like a nice little, like a 3A. It has some wave to it. It was big and voluminous. Yeah. And it gave off
natural hair texture.
Not her natural hair texture. It was definitely giving some type of melanin or ethnic or some type of not whiteness. It was definitely given that. So and then on top of that, you can definitely tell she is more than just like tanning. She is using darker makeup. You can tell. She can't convince me otherwise. So this girl has been accused of blackfishing and pretty evident. And less about her and more about the topic in general of blackfishing and why I think it's so harmful. I just think it's so harmful because, well, before I get into that, how do you feel about, how people were mentioning she was blackfishing? Did you have like a feeling towards that?
Not really, because I try to stay away from all of that. I'm not one of those people who feels like I need to have an opinion on everything. If I see something I don't like, I keep scrolling.
You're like,
okay, all right,
okay, girl.
I have some thoughts. I don't even like the term blackfishing because I feel like a lot of
the culprit girls is behind you.
She came to say hi. But I can totally understand where they're coming from, though, because she is taking looks from not necessarily just like the skin tone, but she is taking aspects from Black culture, things that are predominantly in Black
Right.
culture, that we tend to get looked down upon on
Exactly.
because we're Black. But when people who are not Black do the same exact things, they get rewarded for it. And that is
Absolutely.
frustrating to see all of the time. So I do understand why people are upset. Um, I think it's distasteful. I wasn't a fan. The song was, I wasn't a fan of the
Hey.
song. Yeah, that's how I feel. I wasn't a fan of the song. I wasn't a
Girl.
fan of the look. And yeah, I just kept scrolling. I was just like,
Here we
don't
go
like it.
again.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. I think you hit it on the nail. Like for me, I mean, just personally, I feel like it is, I don't know. I feel like for me, it's hurtful for me, like to, just like you said, see people. It's okay for, it's like it's unacceptable to be Black unless someone else is doing it. Unless white people are doing it. It's not cute to have big lips unless white people go get surgery and have big lips or big butts or curly hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think it kind of bothered me the most, not this particular instance, like, girl, please, but like, I think the overall blackfishing bothered me the most because it kind of became trendy to have, use our like doing edges, wearing the door knocker earrings, things like that is becoming trendy. But when we do it, it's ghetto. And then I just feel like that's hurtful. The fact that when we do something, it's looked at as ghetto, it's looked at as unprofessional, and it's not acceptable. And then when they do it, it's all of a sudden popular and it's cute and it's trendy. So I think that's the worst part. And then I just know with like the hair that bothers me for some reason, and I'm still trying to put my finger on it. I think it has to do with like the fact that um for so long, like Black women tried to assimilate, by getting relaxers. You were like the only person I knew that never got a relaxer, by the way.
Oh wow.
No, for real. Because yeah, for the long, like in middle school, we're the only person without a relaxer. Which I would like to ask you about your experience with that, because it wasn't popular to not have one.
And I really wanted one because it wasn't popular to not have one.
Dang. I could see that. I'm gonna ask you about that in a second. Okay. But like, for the longest we were getting the relaxers, which was like harmful to our hair. Nobody's hair was growing, and then it was all ugly and stuck. Lie and say it wasn't. For those out here, for those of you out here, don't lie and tell me your hair wasn't stuck. When you put your chin to your chest, it's stuck up like this. Lie and say it wasn't. No, so it wasn't always cute unless you just went and got it done. Like, it wasn't that attractive in my opinion. Hindsight is 2020, of course. But yeah, it wasn't even something that was, it's not healthy. Like the lie that it's toxic. So, and for us to be doing that to ourselves, and then we finally start embracing, like, we're getting on YouTube and we finally, and honestly, we had to relearn how to do our own hair. And that's why we got into like watching YouTube tutorials and learning about, like, I have to learn about my hair type. Honestly, when I first went natural, I had no idea that my hair was never going to look like the people with 3C hair. Like it never clicked for me. I just started growing my hair out and I was like, I guess as I grow it out more, that's just how ignorant I was. Like I was like, oh, if I grow it out more, eventually my hair is going to start curly like that. No, baby, it does not work like that. But I would have never known. And it's just crazy that we were just so ignorant towards our own hair. So we're going through all of this. I know I'm not the only one, because girl, the 4C hair, you have to learn how to love it. Because you see the people with the 3C, the, you know, the larger, more, I guess, more manageable in some ways, those type of hairstyles or hair types. And you have to really learn how to love your own hair and learn how to do your own hair. And so, you know, as we started embracing and learning more about our hair, and getting on YouTube, we started making it, you know, loving it and just learning more about it and making it more popular. So, but then these white girls come along and they start profiting and actually, you know, making money and getting brand deals and, you know, being influencers off of like having darker makeup and having curly hair, like using have you seen them with the straw sets? So that is like, I don't know, it just blows my mind. So I don't put anything past them, but I don't know. It's just a thing. It's a thing for me. And
that's
I don't like
whole other episode in itself, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I know people who still have no idea what their natural hair texture is. They've never seen it. They don't know how their hair grows out of their scalp.
It's insane.
Yeah. That's a whole nother issue. That's a whole can of worms. We are not ready. Well, I'm not ready to open up right now.
Girl. Yeah. Another episode. But yeah. So
but yeah,
that's what it is.
Not a fan. And I think a solution to that is to ignore and not support people who do it. I don't even feel comfortable talking about her because I don't want people trying to Google who she is, run up her views on her videos, trying to see, you know, what she's doing. Because to these type of people, well, to entertainers, any type of attention is good attention as long as it makes them more money, brings them more views. So it's above me now.
Yeah, it's too late. But yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point, but yeah.
Because sometimes they do that because they know it will cause controversy and people will start talking. So that's the game now. Because, you know, everybody's got a podcast, everybody's got an opinion, and entertainers want people to talk about them. So they'll do something to trigger some people.
Boy.
But honestly, in her case, I feel like she's just ignorant.
Yeah. I mean,
no, I don't even want to say that because I've read like about her bandmates have like told her about herself before. So if she's ignorant, she's willfully ignorant and doesn't care.
Just as bad.
It's just as bad, and she's just worried about herself, and she doesn't care.
Yep.
And I think right now is a good time to take a break and have a word from our sponsors. Pregnancy is one of the most vulnerable times in a woman's life. In a world full of uncertainty, Amazing Grace Ultrasound helps make things clear. Are you unsure if you're pregnant or not? Amazing Grace Ultrasound has pregnancy confirmation ultrasounds. Do you want to know the gender of your baby? You can get a gender blood test as early as 7 weeks. Are you curious about what your baby will look like? Amazing Grace Ultrasound uses state-of-the-art technology to offer 3D, 4D, and 5D ultrasounds to give you a sneak peek. At Amazing Grace Ultrasound, they don't just do ultrasounds, they create memories. Just look at the reviews, they speak for themselves. Go to www.amazinggraceultrasound.com to check out their packages and book your appointment today. It's time for the wellness section. Okay, everybody. All right. We are sleepy. We are tired, but we are pushing through, and we're going to take it to the health and wellness section. So as we talked about before, the holiday season is coming up. People are going to have time off, and I thought this would be a good time to talk about self-care. I need it. You need it. We all need it. We've been working hard. We need to take care of ourselves. And so I had a question for you, Morgan. I want to know, what are your top 3 things to do for self-care?
Take a just take a rest day. Like, I know, like, when I get off work, I have a million things to do, but there are days, especially like this past Tuesday. So Zara's usually with her dad on Tuesdays, and this past weekend I was, driving to St. Louis and driving back, so I didn't really get to rest and relax. But honestly, the I just feel like the most helpful thing that I can do on for like self-care on days like that is just get in the bed and do absolutely nothing. Even if, I'm gonna be real, even if I have to like literally skip a shower that night, just getting in the bed and not doing anything, not thinking about anything, is like the mental and physical break just feels like. And then I just like I told you how before we started the podcast, Wednesday night, or no, just tonight, I had the energy to do a workout, wash my hair. What else did I do? Just like I had the energy to do so much more just because I took that day of rest.
Mm-hmm.
And it just like re-energizes and refreshes me. I like just that's like my number one thing. Not doing
Okay,
anything.
I love that. And before you get into the other ones, I kind of want to ask another question about that, because I
Mm-hmm.
know, do you ever feel any guilt about laying down and not doing nothing? Because I feel like sometimes I have a problem with that. Like if I'm laying
Mm-hmm.
down and not doing anything, resting, I'm like, I need to be
Mm-hmm.
doing something.
Well, I used to, and then I started realizing that like I have patterns with my energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. I
Mm-hmm.
just have like patterns with like when I am most productive. It's like a time of day when I'm most productive and a time of week when I'm most productive. And I started paying attention to that so that I ended up feeling less guilty when I am taking that day of rest, because I know that in a couple of days I'm gonna have an energy spurt, like a spurt of energy on usually on like Wednesdays and Thursdays. I get like a
Mm-hmm.
spurt of energy and I know I'm going to be more productive. So sometimes I'll plan certain things on those days when I know I'm going to be like, when I know I'm going to have more energy, or I will, um, no, yeah. So I'll plan more things and then I will feel less guilty because I know I'm going to do it. And if I
Yeah,
don't,
no.
I have to realize that I will.
Yeah, that's not weird at all. That's actually very good that you're in tune with your energy. You know that when you rest on these
Mm-hmm.
days, you'll have more energy for these days. So you actually plan for that. That's actually very essential for life.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you have to be in tune with your body and know, basically know
Mm-hmm.
what you can and cannot do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
You have to.
that was amazing. I love that. But you can go ahead and tell me your other 2 things.
Oh, it's two more. What is another one? Just having like a day where, ooh, one of them is doing my hair. I Ever since I was little, I would do my own like braids or do something to my hair. For whatever reason, doing my hair it just makes me feel like I'm taking care of myself. I never go get my hair done. I always do my own and watch tutorial, and I just enjoy it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoy it more when I do my own hair. I think as I'm getting older, I might start having other people do my hair. I'm getting a little tired and a little lazy on it. But yeah, doing my hair is one. Um, what's another?
Well, before
Hmm.
maybe you can have some time to think about it, because I have another question about that.
Hmm.
Because I was never one of those girls that like did hair when I was
Hmm.
younger. I still had having a child is the only reason like I learned how to do like hair. So So I think it's very interesting that that's something that brings you like calmness and something that brings you joy, and you feel like, and sometimes people feel like self-care is like, just like, taking a bubble bath, but sometimes it's
Mm-hmm.
actually really doing physical things that even sometimes you might not feel like doing, but after you
Mm-hmm.
do it, you feel like you
Mm.
you feel cared for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's so true. I didn't realize that, I guess. Doing something you just really like is a form of self-care. That's a good
Yeah.
point. It's something I should think about more. Hmm.
Okay, can you think of one more? I know something that you do, but
Oh, really?
I'll only say it if you can't think of a third thing.
Okay. I want to hear it now. I'm curious, but I'll say one thing.
Okay.
Um, I will, if I'm like really, 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 really just, I know I've been going and going and going. I haven't had a moment to like find my inner peace.
Mm-hmm.
I will like just on my way home, ride in the car and not have on any music and just allow myself to decompress. And that is like one thing. Because I know if I have Zara in the car, Mommy, I'm bored. Mommy, let's tell jokes. Like, girl, just ride in the back. Let's tell jokes. I don't have jokes. I'm tired. What jokes?
Yes, Lord.
I got a joke. Shush. But yeah,
Man, I feel that on a spiritual level.
just being quiet is some self care for me.
I love that. And I always thought I was weird. I love riding in a silent car. Like just
Yes.
let the windows open and just hear the breeze. Just
Nah,
like,
I'm just
okay.
kidding.
Okay.
Because I'd be sneezing.
You lost me. I mean, I lost you.
Yeah.
but
No, good.
but yeah, no, that's a good one.
Yeah. What
Okay,
was
so
the
I
one you
can
were gonna say?
no, you told me that you started journaling.
Oh yeah, that was the other one I was thinking of. I almost said that one. Journaling, yeah, that helps me with it's really if I have like I started paying more attention to like when I know I just feel like my spirit is unsettled and I feel anxious about something and can't put my finger on what it is. Journaling helps me kind of figure out what it is and helps me like it helps me resolve it a little. So, yep, that is a good one.
It is journaling. That was going to be one of mine that I was going to say too, because we had a whole conversation about it. I remember, and we were just like, we were saying that when we write things out, journaling is kind of just like having a conversation with yourself. Like instead of
Mm-hmm.
talking it out with someone else, it's like talking it out with yourself, but writing
Mm-hmm.
it down, of course. And you usually can like resolve your own problems by yourself just by
Yes.
writing it out.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
Amen. Amen to
amen.
self care. What are
Amen to self
yours?
care. Okay. So I wrote some down because I knew if I tried to go off memory, I'd be standing here like, I gotta go. but so one of mine is exercising.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's kind of like a two in one. It kind of like gets my mind right and it also gets my body right. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Flat stomach 2022. But
Yeah.
yeah. And I guess I would say this kind of goes into exercise, but like dancing in my room.
I'll be
Like
doing
that's like
it.
that is so fun. It's my number one thing that I love to do to decompress. Like if I
Aw.
can't do anything else, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go in the room for like 30 minutes.
What?
And yeah, I was like, I'm gonna go in the room, and everyone knows, like, okay, she's gonna be in there for a while.
Sweet.
Let me get my stuff out the room. Um, but yeah, I've even sent like a recording of myself dancing to you. I'll be having a good time. Okay.
You did. You do. You be like sweating a little bit. So you don't be playing.
I do not play. Like it's a true
Oh,
workout. Okay.
that's funny.
Um, another thing that I have written down is having something to look forward to. So at least like once or twice a month, I try to have something planned that I like really look forward to. If it's either like going on a hike with some friends or going to a pumpkin patch with Nia or just like doing something like where I'm out and enjoying myself with other people.
That's an interesting one. See, those are some that you never really hear. Like you said, you hear people talk about like taking a bubble bath with candles lit and feeling all cute. But no, I feel perfectly fine with my feet crusty and just going to sleep. Like I'm okay with that. So like that's really a good point. It's not always taking bubble baths. It's not always meditating, but sometimes it is. But dancing, having something to look forward to, that's a new one for me. But
Yeah, I
I
think
can
that's super important because I feel like it's super easy, especially like, I don't know, I feel like in today's age, everyone is so isolated. And I feel like it's hard to like just get out there, especially during the pandemic and everything, like get out there, be social or do something fun. And I feel like you have to have something to like look forward to make life interesting and fun and not so blah.
yeah,
Not so
that's a
crazy.
really good point, especially with the pandemic. Because honestly, like when the pandemic hit and I really saw stuff closing, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so depressing." It was like it was like the opposite of what you said. I didn't know what to look forward to. It was just the anticipation of, or I guess the anxiety of not knowing was, it was a lot. And just knowing you can't go, it was kind of like being grounded. It's
Yeah.
like I wasn't going to go hang out with my friends, but now I know I can't and I am sad. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
And
Mm-hmm.
another one I have is this one is something I started doing recently, like this year,
Mm-hmm.
2021, but I realized it's super important for me is to really maintain my relationships. So I used to like go forever without like talking to friends or
Girl, who you
sometimes even
telling?
family. And I realized that also had an impact on my mental health and to why my mental state was not in the best place. So I try to make it a point to myself every day to talk to somebody I care about, I love, whether it's like my mom, my sister, a friend, something like that, so I can just have contact with the outside world, because I feel like as humans we need connections and we're not getting the connections that we need to maintain a happy life.
Mm-hmm.
So I know in order to maintain my happy I need to reach out to people.
Yeah, that's no, that's a really, really good one. That's one I've been trying to work on too. Not doing a great job, but one thing I've been trying to get better at is just like replying to people's text. Replying to people's texts, calling people back. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
not great yet, but that's
No,
what I
I
saw in your
struggle with
face.
that too. No,
Yeah, it's just so
especially with the
hard.
texting.
Oh,
It's like I get distracted and
yes,
I
it's
don't
so
text you back for
easy.
like 2 weeks. And I'm like, I
Hmm.
am so sorry.
Yes, I used to be like trying to resume conversations a month later, and people would be like, "Come on,
It's like you see me put in an effort, cut me some slack.
man." No, really, yeah. So that's a really good one because like I'm starting to value um just relationships a lot more than I used to because they came so easily, especially like friendships. When you're in school, they come so easily. As an adult, it's not the same. And
Not
I
so
think we can
much.
both attest to that, especially being people that moved away from home
Mm-hmm.
and moved away from where we went to school, like to
Mm-hmm.
college. You have to like actively make friends as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
You have to like, especially if you're not going somewhere every single day, like you have
Mm-hmm.
to be in the store like that person seems nice. Hello, my name is Morgan. Like it's
But no, really.
hard.
No, really. No,
If you
really.
want friends, you have to
I
try
would do
really hard.
I would do stuff like that. I had a Bumble friends and
Yeah.
everything. I made
Yeah.
friends at work. Like I take friendships very seriously. And I feel like I can make a friend no matter where I go.
Yeah.
Because like I actually made a friend off Bumble and we still talk.
Oh, that's cool.
Like to this day.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I feel like I don't know if people take friendships as seriously as I do, but because I do have
Mm-hmm.
younger sisters, but they're like 6 to 8 years younger than me. So I kind of feel like I grew up as an only child. Seriously. Because I was
No,
like,
you
they
did
were
not. No, you did not. I remember them. They were off the chain. I would come and visit, and they would be like throwing stuff.
I mean, I feel like they were my children. I don't feel like they were
No,
my
I can see
sisters.
that.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I feel like I treated my close friendships like family because I felt like
Mm-hmm.
they're kind of like the sisters or brother instead like, oh, I don't want
Yeah.
to say that. Sorry, sisters.
They know what you mean. It's like it's different having somebody closer in age. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Versus somebody that you have to take care of. It's like one thing to be babysitting and one thing to be hanging out.
Right. To be kicking it.
Yeah. Because
It's
it's like, we're kicking it, but I got to make sure you brush your teeth, take a bath, and go to bed. It's not cool. It's not the
right.
same.
It's not the same at all.
Yeah.
I gotta fix all like they would always break something and be like, Gabby, help. I'm like, dang, sit down somewhere. But okay, anyway. Sorry, sisters. Love you. Something else I had written down was asking for help and
That's still
accepting
hard.
help. Man, I do not know how I can accept help if someone offers, but asking for help, that is very, very difficult for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very, very difficult.
Yeah, it is hard.
But
It's
how
never my
we
first choice. Never.
never, never, ever,
Or
never,
third.
ever. It might be my third, but not
Okay.
first or second.
It's like, oh, I could do that. Oh, no, I'm good. That's usually it. Yeah.
Because I mean, it kind of ties into relationships because you
Mm-hmm.
need a community. Like, we were not meant to go through this life doing everything
Yeah.
alone. And you need a community of people there. They're there to help you and support you. And if you're going through a rough time, like, that's what they're
Mm-hmm.
there for. Because you're not
Yeah.
supposed to go through it by yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. You just realize there's a lot of value in, reaching out, staying in touch,
Yeah.
especially as you get older. So true.
I try to hit up people I haven't talked to in a while, like, hey, I miss you. How have you been? Just checking in on you and stuff like that. Because like people you haven't heard from a while, it's probably because they're going through it.
Oh, man. Yeah. Because it's just, these have been some rough years. These last couple of years have just been so rough on so many people.
Man,
It's like
myself
funeral after
included.
funeral.
After funeral,
It's a mess.
a hot mess. Okay, I had two
Mhm.
more things written down.
Mhm.
We're gonna go over them real quick because it is getting late.
Yes.
One thing I had written down was mothering myself.
Oh.
Mothering myself because when you get older, your mother's not putting in that work to take care of you that she did when we were younger,
Mhm.
because we're grown now, but you still need that care. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize that you the only person that's gonna give you that kind of care. Nobody else is.
Boy.
Like you said, doing your hair,
Mhm.
like figuring out, I feel like a lot of this comes down to knowing yourself.
Mhm.
So for instance, like if you're feeling down or not feeling like yourself, or like you say your spirit is uneasy, you have to know when you're feeling this way, and you have to know
Yeah.
how to love and nurture yourself to get
Mhm.
you back to where you need to be to regulate your nervous system.
Yep.
And you just Because, you know, when you were younger, your mom would like pat your back and be like, it's okay, baby, or something like that. You got to figure out how to do that for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And just really, yeah, that's not one I've thought of before either. But that's so true. When you said it though, the first thing I was thinking of is like, I have to be the grown up in my own life. Like I have to make those doctor's appointments.
Yeah. Because your mama did that for you when you were younger. She's not doing that no more.
Yes. One thing I always say though is like, man, when I get hungry and I want food, I gotta cook it.
I know, right?
I'm like,
and
who gonna make dinner? Me? Oh, yeah. Yeah. But that's
and then
so true.
you have to be like, I can't just cook it once I get really hungry. You have to be like a responsible adult. You're like, okay, I know I'm gonna be hungry at 2, so I gotta cook it like 1, so to be ready when I eat at 2.
Amen. Or else you're gonna be sitting there starving, and you're gonna mess around and just go get McDonald's. No, I never go to McDonald's. Honestly, that's a stretch. But you're gonna find something fast that you really didn't want to put in your body. You know, so you have to start early.
Adulting is hard.
0 stars. Just like they said.
Right?
It's ghetto. Adulting is ghetto.
Yes, do not recommend.
No, really. I'm still trying to get good at it. Like,
is anyone really good at it though?
That's like a great question.
I feel like no. I feel like some people look like they're good at it. I feel like people think I'm really good at it. Like people look at me and think that I'm a good adulter. That doesn't make sense. But
it did.
Okay. I'm communicating great then. And I'm just like, if you guys knew, like I feel like I have the same struggles as literally everybody else. But for some reason, I guess I'm about to get so off topic because I'm like, remember when we were talking about like having to have this persona of like perfection. And I feel like I do always try to present myself in the best light, but I also feel like that gives off the impression that I have everything together. And I don't. We are all just trying to make it. Basically, we are all getting it wrong, trying to get it right. Okay.
We are all hanging on by a thread, if we're honest. By a G-string, all hanging on.
Okay, last thing is having time to myself. Like I need time where people cannot reach me, cannot contact me, cannot look at me. I need
look over here. Don't breathe within 6 feet of me.
Nothing. Amen. I don't want to see nothing. I don't want to feel nothing. I don't want to smell nothing.
Hear no people, see no people, speak no people.
Exactly.
Bye.
I need time to myself because I feel like I can be introverted or extroverted, but I'm definitely more of an introvert.
Yeah.
And I need that time to recharge. I know myself. Like if I'm like after work, I have to go home and go in the room and recharge. And Nia knows it too. I'll be like, Nia, I'm so tired. She was like, you need to charge up. I'm like, yes, girl.
She's so grown. Charge up. Okay, cool.
She said, you need to charge up. I'm like, yes, Nia, I need some time. And she's like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
But then she'll forget that I said that and then come back like 5 minutes later.
Yes.
And be like, you want to
play? Yes. Yeah. Especially with working from home, I know Zara would notice the same thing because she just started school. So before she was in school, she would be schooling with me while I'm working and her dad on his days. So she already knew. I'd be like, Zara, after I clock out, don't come over here asking about Barbies. You already know the deal. I'm going to sit on this couch on TikTok for about 25 minutes. and then you can have a snack. Okay. So like she'd be like, still break time? Okay.
Still 2 minutes later, still break time? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'd be like, yes. It's hard. Yeah, you need to decompress. Or just like I said, that car ride. Sometimes that car ride gets me right. If it's not long enough, then like you said, just go in your room. Everybody be quiet. Don't talk to me. That is so valuable.
Very, very valuable. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up by saying,
Mm-hmm.
whoever's listening, I want you to write down 3 things that you enjoy, 3 things that bring you joy. And I want you to commit to one of them over the holidays. And I want you to tell me about it. I want you to at Getting It Wrong Pod on Twitter. I might have to change that later. I can't remember the Twitter name. If that's not the right Twitter name, we'll fix it. Okay. I need you to add us on Getting It Wrong Pod on Instagram, Twitter, or you can at me on my personal socials on at organically Gabby on Instagram and at organically_G on Twitter. And tell me about it. I really do want to hear it.
We really want to hear it.
Really want to hear it. Hey, really want to hear it. Hey, walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk
See, that's how I know it's after 10:30. Here we go.
I wanted to tell everyone to give yourself grace, okay? Because what do we say? Getting it wrong
is the first step to getting it right.
All right, everybody. Have a great day.